2002, Kandahar, Afghanistan. The battle between the Taliban and the U.S.-led Northern Alliance continued. During this conflict, one of the U.S. troops on patrol went missing in the Kandahar region. Immediately a search team was sent and the search began, but what they found, there was not a missing unit, but a ridiculous one. They encountered a giant and the battle began. Based on an anonymous interview conducted by L.A. Marzulli in Watchers 10, let's take a closer look at the truth of the case. According to an interviewer, the search team was airborne near the missing site. The site was a remote area where people could not easily approach. It seems that a suspicious cave was found shortly after the search began. In front of the cave, things like bones and pieces of communication equipment were scattered. The incident happened suddenly when they approached the cave, guarding against the enemy's ambush. A giant with bright red hair and a beard emerged from the cave and attacked. The giant had a huge spear, and one of the soldiers was the victim of the spear. Although the salvo began, it was difficult to stop the giant's movement despite the use of heavy weapons. After more than 30 seconds of barrage, they were finally able to stop the giant. The giant was 3.5 to 4 meters tall, had 6 fingers on each hand and foot, and had strange nails. The giant was hung on a net by a helicopter and taken to a military base in Afghanistan. This is what was revealed in the interview. However, it seems that the giant was brought to Bagram Air Base, where it was frozen and stored. According to another witness, 3 years later, in 2005, the body of the giant was carried from Bagram Air Base. From the appearance of the giant and the way the giants were captured, it is certain that they are the same giant. And it is said that the giant was transported to Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. The witness said it wasn't exactly known, but apparently believes that the giant was subsequently taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, USA. In addition, a third witness appears to have carried the giant to America. The witness is said to have been transported by plane from the United States to somewhere in Afghanistan to carry the load. He seems to have no idea where he was, except that he was at the Air Force Base. He said they loaded a 6-finger giant weighing 500 kilograms and transported it to a military base in Ohio. From these 3 independent testimonies, it is likely that the giant was brought to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in the U.S. 3 years after the capture. So what is this giant? The existence of the giant seems to have been known to the local people. The characteristics of the giant were that it was red-haired and had 6 fingers, and its skin color was paler than the local Afghans. He is almost 4 meters tall and cannot be considered a tall recluse. Humans of different species from modern humans are thought to live in the interior of Afghanistan. There, a giant called Nephilim appears in the Old Testament. According to Genesis, Nephilim is a giant race born between the children of God and the daughters of man. According to Numbers, Nephilim lived in the land of Canaan after the flood. The land of Canaan is the region on the west bank of the Jordan River today in Israel, located on the west side of the Orient world where ancient civilization flourished. And Afghanistan is the eastern edge of the Orient world. Kandahar is said to have been developed since ancient times as a strategic trading point connecting east and west. But once you step out of the city, you'll find a desert to the south and a dry mountain range to the north. If the Nephilim mentioned in the Testament were a different kind of real human being, they may have survived to the present in a remote place of Afghanistan. Evidence that the giant has survived until recently has been left around the world. In 1976, a 10-meter-tall giant bone was discovered on a site called Gallery 13 in Romania. The bone was taken to Moscow and never returned. In North America, there are many legends of giants among the indigenous people. Moreover, there are numerous records of the discovery of giant bones. However, these bones are now missing. Interestingly, North American giants are characterized by relatively white skin, red hair, and 6 fingers. These characteristics are exactly the same as the Kandahar giants. In the prehistoric world, giants different from modern humans might have existed widely. It is known that until just before human history began, several species of humans coexisted. At least modern humans and Neanderthals, Denisovans, and Flores man have existed at the same time. It has also been found that the genes of modern humans contain traces of unknown humans. One of these humans could have been a giant. Denisovans are the most likely candidates. As for the Denisovans, only bone fragments and teeth have been found, but they are known to be huge and robust. And Denisovans seem to have better technology than modern humans of the same period. Isn't it possible that the giant Denisovan had developed civilization before modern humans developed it? The mysterious megalithic remains that exist in the whole world may have been left by giants, not by modern humans. If the body is large and the weight is heavy, the building is inevitably required to have strength. It may be logical that the powerful giant used megaliths for construction. The key to solving the mystery of the giant is left in the Solomon Islands. In Solomon Islands, there still exist giants who are thought to be descendants of Denisovans.